You can open your Jupyter notebook through Anaconda prompt by just opening Anaconda prompt and typing Jupyter space notebook and hit enter. So you'll get a link. So the default browser will be used to open the notebook. Okay, so once you open, navigate to your location folder where you have saved. That means in the desktop itself, select desktop, and in that select human activity. So click on that human activity folder, and then you will be opened with a window which contains the file activity.csv. In that, go to new, select Python 3, open a new notebook there. Okay, so in that notebook you need to execute your program. Okay, so everybody done with this, just download the file and open a Jupyter notebook. And your notebook and data set should be in the same directory, same folder. Once you have finished, please let me know. Done. Open ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ? Pooja Patel. Hello. Praveen.
Yes, ma'am.
ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ? ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ?
ಮೊಬೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಬಟ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
Okay, fine. What about your team? Like Kishan is your team member, right?
Yes ma'am.
What about Kishan? Okay, no, people who are not having the systems, no need to worry. When you got the system, then follow these steps. Okay. ಯಾರ ಹತ್ರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಗೂಗಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪಿಂದ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೇಮ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಐ ಡಿ ಥ್ರೂ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ನ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ಟಾಪಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ಫೋಲ್ಡರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನೇಮ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೆಸ್ಕ್ಟಾಪ್. Okay, so within that folder save the file which you have downloaded .csv, activity.csv. Okay, so save that file in that folder, human activity. So then open Jupyter Notebook, then navigate to your folder human activity, and from that open notebook, new notebook. Okay, so then afterwards what should you all need to do, so I'll tell you. Okay, so before that just let me know few things about the things what you have learned during the internship time. Okay, then what are all the steps you are going to follow if you want to solve a problem using machine learning techniques? Okay, so if I give you a problem statement and told you to solve using ML techniques, ML algorithm. Okay, so how you going to solve it? Okay, what are the steps you are going to follow? ಹೇಗೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ML ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಹೌ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಫಾಲೋ ಇನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಮಷಿನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್? If you don't know, just let me know that thing itself. Simply don't sit quiet and don't waste our time. Okay, so ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. So we shall continue. Okay, fine. So the steps you need to follow in solving any machine learning problem are, so take down these points. The first step is need to collect the data. First step is collecting the data from the different sources. You can collect the data, you can survey for the data, you can get it from the online, you can get it from the people you know. Okay, or else you can get it from your knowledge itself. Okay, so first step is to collect the data. Steps in machine learning process are, first step is collecting data. Okay, and this data should be relevant to the problem statement. Which is the problem you are going to solve? What's the problem statement? That you should know first. Then you need to collect the data according to that problem. Okay, so if you want to know, if you want to predict what kind of activities human is doing currently, you want to recognize that, then you need to collect the data which is relevant to that problem. Okay, so if you are collecting the data like what are the details of a vehicle he has, what is his family details, so that kind of data is of no use, right? So the data you are going to collect should be relevant to should be contributing to the solution which for the problem you are going to solve. Okay, so you need to collect the data, first step. Second step is to import the libraries. You need to import the libraries which are required to solve the problem. Okay, second step is import libraries. Third step is to import the data set. That means reading or loading a data set to your program or your application where you are going to solve it, to the platform where you are going to solve it. Okay, so import the data set into your program or into your application or into the platform you are going to use to solve the problem. Okay, so likewise here. Okay, so you generally use the read underscore CSV method to import the data set, right? So that's the third step. Okay, first step is collecting the data set, second importing libraries, third import data set. Fourth step is data pre-processing. After importing the data set you need to perform analysis, data analysis. The fourth step is exploratory data analysis. That means you need to find out how many features you have considered or else how many features you have collected, what is the input independent variable, what is the dependent variable, and what's the relationship among the features in your data set, and how the independent features are affecting the dependent features, how a dependent feature is depending or affecting by the changes in the independent features, and how many samples you have, how many features you have, what's the data type of each and every feature, and is there any missing data, is there any categorical data. So those things you need to analyze by doing exploratory data analysis. Okay, so fourth step is performing exploratory data analysis. Okay, fifth step, after performing all these things you came to know that what kind of data we have, what are all the features we are considered, what is the independent variable, what is the dependent variable, and how one feature is affecting other by just plotting the graphs for the different features, and how features are affecting, what's the dependency, what's the correlation. We came to know that in this step, exploratory data analysis. Okay, so after doing these things we are going to perform data pre-processing. Okay, previous step ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಏನು ಡಾಟಾ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್, ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್, ಏನನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ನ, ಯಾವ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ಸಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು, ಯಾವ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದಾನ, ಕೆಟಗಾರಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದಾನ, ಈ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀವಿ, ಈ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಅನಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌ ಒನ್ ಫೀಚರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅನದರ್, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಕೋರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಫೀಚರ್ಸ್, what's the dependency, all those things we are going to analyze by doing exploratory data analysis. Okay, and the next thing you are going to do is data pre-processing. Okay, so write on this step, data pre-processing. In this step you are going to perform pre-processing on the data before feeding it to the algorithm, machine learning algorithm or the model. Okay, so you need to clean the data set what you have collected in the format which is needed by the algorithm, machine learning algorithm. Okay, for that purpose you are going to perform some operations on the data set. Okay, so what are all those? So let us see those things. Okay, first step is collecting the data set, second importing the libraries, third importing the data set, fourth performing exploratory data analysis, fifth is performing data pre-processing. So in that you are going to perform so many things. So those are, the first point is handling missing data. Okay, so you are going to handle missing data. Okay, handling missing data can be performed, can be solved in different ways. Okay, so this operation, the process of handling missing data will be called as imputing, and this will be performed when your data set have samples with the missing feature values. Okay, you have, like, if you have 10 features and 100 samples, some 5 to 10 samples will have the missing feature of the seventh missing values for the seventh feature. Okay, so that means you have some values missed, they are empty in your data set. Okay, so you don't have any information about that feature for that particular sample. So in such situations you need to sort it out before feeding it to the algorithm, because machine learning algorithm needs the data set to be in the clean format. That means it shouldn't contain any non values, that means it shouldn't be empty in any place in any sample, and it should not be a categorical data. It cannot read the categorical data directly, so you need to convert it to numerical data and then feed it to the machine learning algorithm. Okay, the handling missing data has to be processed in case if your data set have any data missed. Okay, so this can be sorted out by using three ways, in three ways. Okay, so three ways ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಇಶ್ಯೂನ ಸಾರ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ first one is handling missing data can be sorted by just manually filling the values. Second one is using strategies like mean, mode, median, most frequent, like strategies we are going to use to fill out the missing places, missing sample values. Okay, the second one is using strategies. Third one is ignoring or removing the samples which contains the missing data. Okay, so these three ways cannot be performed all the time. So when you have only few samples, 1 or 2 samples, or only 3-5 samples, like count you have missing values in your data set, then you can go for first option, like manually filling it. And second option is used when the data set contains the samples which with the missing values with the largest quantity. That means if you have like 100 samples, out of that you have more than 40 samples with the missing values. Okay, so then in such cases you need to fill out those. You can't ignore it, because that much quantity will affect the accuracy of the model. Okay, so if you just remove or just ignore those samples, then it will be a problem for the accuracy of the model. So in such cases you need to fill out, but you can't manually fill it because the quantity is more. In such cases you can use the strategy. Next two options ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಇಗ್ನೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನುವಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ you can use the strategy. Okay, the strategies can be a mean, mode, or median, or most frequent. Okay, so using these strategies you can fill out the missing values. Okay, third one is ignore or removing the entire sample from the data set which contains the missing values. Okay, ಯಾವ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ಗೆ ಮಿಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಡಾಟಾ ಸೆಟ್ಟಿಂದ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ will also be not performed usually in all the cases, because under this type of operation you are going to perform when you have the larger data set and you have only few samples with the missing data. Okay, so when you have only few samples with the missing data and you don't want to ignore them, then you can go for manually filling it. And you can, if it is available that you can ignore them, then you can remove all the samples with the missing data which can be deleted, which can be removed, which can be ignored from the data set, and then you can use it. Like if we have like 10,000 samples and we have 20 samples with the missing data, then instead of wasting time in filling it, you can just ignore it, because that much samples will contribute to the accuracy like by just 0.0001 or 2%. Okay, so in such cases you can just ignore it, you can remove it. Ignore in the sense you need to remove, you need to delete, you need to erase those samples from the data set. Okay, so here in this case you are going to drop. Okay, Python ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, dropping the samples. Fine, so that's how you can handle the missing data. So next thing you can do in data pre-processing stage is handling categorical data. So write on this, handling categorical data. Handling categorical data, how this can be performed, ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇದನ್ನು categorical data ಇದ್ದರೆ? Categorical data ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? You have two types of data. One is categorical data and other one is numerical data. So if your data set contains categorical data, then what will you do before feeding it to the algorithm? You will go to convert into numerical data, right? So you're going to convert categorical data into numerical data by performing encoding. Okay, the process of handling categorical data, that means the process of converting categorical data into numerical data, can be called as encoding, and the process of handling missing data is called as imputing. Okay, process of handling missing data is called imputing. Process of handling categorical data is called encoding. Okay, so you have two methods, label encoding and one hot encoding, which is explained during the internship time, right? So one hot encoding, label encoding we can perform to convert categorical data into numerical data. Okay, and then next you're going to perform feature scaling. So if your data set contains a different scaled features, then you need to convert into a same scale, uniform scale features. So for that purpose you are going to perform feature scaling by just performing standardization or normalization. Okay, so that's the next thing you are going to do in data pre-processing step. And the next one is, after doing all these things, your data is clean, your data is filled with all numerical values, your data doesn't contain any categorical values, categorical data. Then after that you are going to split the entire data set into dependent features and independent features, and train data and the test data. Okay, split the data set into independent and dependent, split the features into dependent features and independent features, and in both kind of features you need to split train data and test data. That means you need to have 4 data sets, a portion of the data set. One is independent train data, independent test data, dependent train data, dependent test data. Okay, so these much things you need to have. Okay, so that's the these are all the things you are going to perform in data pre-processing step. Okay, so then in the next step, after data pre-processing, the next step is to go for the machine learning topic. Okay, so then here comes the picture of algorithm or the model. Okay, in this step you are going to select the model, select the algorithm which is needed to solve your problem. Okay, so for that purpose you need to know what kind of solution, what kind of solution you want to predict or recognize. Okay, so based on that solution you are going to select which kind of algorithm we should use. Okay, if it is of a problem with predicting values, then you can go for regression algorithms. If it is of a problem which has to classify, then you go for classification algorithms. Okay, so like that you are going to select the model. So if it is of regression kind of algorithm, you can use simple linear regression or multiple linear regression. Simple linear regression will be used when you have only single independent variable and single dependent variable. When you have multiple independent variables, multiple independent features and a dependent and dependent feature, then you can go for multiple linear regression. Okay, so and apart from this, if you want to predict the classes, any classes like yes or no, spam or not spam, male or female, yes he have a disease, no he doesn't have a disease, yes he is doing this thing or that thing, is it a cat, it's a cat, it's a dog, it's a elephant, it's a giraffe, or it's a fruit, apple, banana, orange, cherry. So like this, you are going to, if you want to predict the classes, then you can go for classification algorithms. So there are many classification algorithms available in machine learning field. So you can use any of them as per the requirement. Select the model, select the algorithm. Okay, fine. So the next step after model selection is model training. So after selecting the model, you need to create an instance of the model. After that, you need to train the model by giving it with the training data set, independent, both in independent and the dependent features which have the training portion, training data portion should be fit to the algorithm or the model. Okay, so thereby you are going to train the model. Okay, after training the model, then you need to evaluate the model. That means model evaluation has to be done. You need to check the accuracy of the model. After that, model evaluation admele we need to deploy it. Finally, you are going to deploy the model. So these are the steps you are going to follow in any machine learning process. Okay, so after that, so just try to perform all these steps on this data set what I have shared to you, activity.csv. Okay, so let us solve this problem, so which says predicting the human activity based on the smartphone data set. What's the data set which is collected from a smartphone? That means what's the condition of that smartphone which he is holding. Okay, based on the data set, you need to predict the activity of the human. Okay, so the first step is to collecting the data set. We have collected the data set and have stored in the desktop human activity folder. Okay, then the next step is to import the libraries. Firstly, to start with, we need just pandas. Okay, so just use that. Don't worry about all the libraries which I have used here. So these are all the libraries which are needed in future. So what by that time, which library is important, which library is needed, just import that there itself. Okay, so to begin with, just want a pandas library to be used. Okay, first import the library, import pandas as pd. Okay, 2 steps completed. Third step is importing data set. So importing data set can be performed using read underscore csv, pd.read underscore csv method. Okay, so after this stage, I need to perform exploratory data analysis. Okay, so here is my data analysis by just plotting, by just visualizing the data. Okay, so now let us visualize our data to understand the hidden features of the data set. So before that, we need to know what's the features, what are the features we have in our data set. Data.head. Just a sec, it's just running. Okay, these are the features I have. Okay, so in total I have 563 columns, that means 563 features. Okay, so 563 features it has. So these are all the features which is obtained from the smartphone data. So majorly we have accelerometer and gyrosensor readings. Okay, so what are all the data which is collected from the accelerometer and the gyro sensor is stored in this data set. Okay, so what does accelerometer will do? Accelerometer ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? So which is used to for the purpose of checking the speed, right? So it is used to perform the is to get the speed of the object. Fine. So if the person who is holding a phone is the speed, if that speed is more, then it means that he is walking. If it is less, that means he might be standing. If it is nil, it might be sleeping or standing. So like this it will going to identify. Okay, so along with the other features, it is going to identify what kind of activity the person is currently doing. Okay, if the accelerometer is 0 and the gyrometer is something like 45 degree or like almost 180 degree or 90 degree, so based on that it is going to identify what kind of activity he is currently doing. Okay, gyrometer is used to gyro sensor is used to find out the tilt, then we'll find out the angle of the object. Okay, how much bend it is. Okay, so for that purpose these two sensor readings will be taken from the smartphone. So based on these two sensor readings we are going to identify that what kind of activity the person is going to do in the current situation. Okay, based on the readings. Okay, so next coming to the EDA. So maybe these values may not be understood by us, but these are all the necessary data to find out the activity of a human. Okay, the major contribution is by accelerometer and the gyro sensor, accelerometer sensor and the gyro sensor. Okay, so these two readings in perspective with the energy, in perspective with the angle, in perspective with the power consumption, battery life, so all these things will be considered. Okay, so based on these two sensors and other information, along with that other information will be used to predict the activity of a human, okay, who is holding a smartphone. Okay, so then after that third step we need to perform EDA, exploratory data analysis. We need to perform like what kind of data it is, what are other different features it is containing, and how many samples it has. So all these things we need to explore. Okay, and what's the kind of relationship is between the features, so that also you need to know. So for that purpose we can take the help of the graphs to understand the distribution of the data in the entire data set. Okay, so firstly we should start understanding the hidden features of the data set by plotting the graphs. Okay, so this is just a graph which shows the count of each activity. In total how many samples we have? Total ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ? Data dot shape. We have 7,352 samples and 563 features. Okay, 563 features we have, and we have 7,352 samples. Out of these samples, is there any missing data or is there any categorical data, and how many samples we have, what's the data type of each and every samples, that we should know. So for that purpose, what's the way we need to use? We can take the help of methods which are defined inside the pandas library. Okay, so if I use info method, so then all the details will be obtained. So data.info will give you the information about the what are all the features it has and how many data set it has. So all these things you're going to understand. Okay, ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೈಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡಾಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ measure in the floating point values, and just one column will be in a int value and one will be in a object form which is a string. Okay, so that is the output. Okay, here is the output. So this is the subject. As per the subject also we are going to find it. Okay, if you just export 10, 100, so you can able to get multiple samples here. Okay. So ಯಾವ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಯಾವ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು we can able to predict. Okay, so this will be in a string format. As it will be output, we can keep it as it is, and the rest all as they all will be in a numerical form. We don't need to convert it to again numerical form, as already in a numerical form. Doesn't have any categorical data. And coming to samples, we have 7,352 samples and about 563 features. Okay, so, there is no missing data here since we get all the values, right, to be filled. All the features will be filled with the value sample data. Okay, so by this thing we came to know that we don't need to perform imputing or encoding. And coming to feature, as all will be in the somewhat similar range, equal priority will be given to all the features. The difference is not much higher, so that's why feature scaling is also not needed. Okay, and then next step we need to split it into data exploration step ಆದಮೇಲೆ we need to split the entire data set into a train set and a test set, input and independent and the dependent set, and a train set and a test set. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನು ಕೋರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಒಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫೀಚರ್ಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಕೋರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ನೋ ದ correlation among the features and how the data is distributed by just plotting the graphs here. So like this you can plot the graphs. Okay, so just displaying how many samples will have link activity, how many humans, like if I consider 7,352 people details, phone details, then you can get to know that out of those more than 1,200 human beings are laying, and about 1,100 will be sitting, and about 1,000 will be standing, or about 950 will be walking, and 800 will be downstairs, they're stepping down, and about 700 will be stepping up. Okay, so this is how I can analyze that how the data is distributed. Okay, I'm just taking the count of each activity, the people who with the different activities, how many people will doing different activities. I'm just taking the count, I'm just displaying it. Okay, and how much percentage it will be, so that can be displayed here. Okay, by just using the pie chart. Okay, apart from this you can get to know the effect of the accelerometer or the gyrosensors on the activity. Okay, So that also you can came to know by just plotting the graphs and doing exploratory data analysis. Okay, so after this step, data pre-processing, we came to know that there is no need of imputing or encoding or a feature scaling. So what is left? It's need to split up entire data set into an independent and the dependent set. Independent features are the features which are not dependent on any other feature and can be used to predict the results. So this part will be called as the independent features. And coming to dependent features, so dependent feature is the feature which is dependent on other features, and it is what the target, it is what the outcome we need to predict. Okay, so this in this way you can recognize which is the dependent feature. We can identify that which is the independent feature and which is the dependent feature here, and we can able to split up into dependent and independent. So after that we need to split it into training set and the testing set. Okay, so after this we need to split it into training set and the testing set. Okay, so here I have considered both the activities and the subject as the dependent features. Except that those two I have considered all the features like readings from gyro sensor and the accelerator sensor. I'm going to consider all the readings as the input or independent features, and except those two all will be contributing in predicting the activity. Okay, you can just ignore the subject. So it depends, if it is most important, you can also include it as a independent feature. So or else you can ignore it. You can just not consider in both the cases. Okay, so and activity is what you are going to predict. So that comes the dependent feature. So here I am representing X as an independent feature and Y as a dependent feature. X as independent, Y as dependent. In case if you are using like in DP, so in place of N I am using X, in place of DP I am using Y. Okay, so after this stage you are going to split up the entire data set into a train set and the test set, so that finally we are able to get 4 values, 4 portion of the data set. One is independent training part, independent testing part, dependent training part and dependent testing part. Okay, so that can be splitted by using a method, built-in method called train test split. So I am using the test size 20%, that means 80% of the data will be used for training purpose and 20% of the data will be used for testing, that means to evaluate the model. Okay, so after this step, so what's the next step? It is model selection. So as it is a classification kind of problem, you need to select any of the classification algorithm to solve this problem. Okay, I am just considering multiple classification algorithms here to know the accuracy, what different algorithms will be giving, and to select the best one. Okay, so for that purpose what we need to do, we can just import the libraries and to implement the algorithms by training them using the trained data. Okay, so this is how I can use the multiple classification algorithms. Firstly I have used the support vector classifier, support vector machine algorithm, logistic regression, then k nearest neighbor, then random forest algorithms. So I have used 4 classification algorithms to solve this problem. So, and I want to check the accuracy which will be obtained by these classifiers. Okay, so first I need to create an instance for the algorithms. So as you people are familiar with the k nearest neighbor, I am just going with that specifically. Okay, so my classifier will be k nearest neighbor. I need to create an instance of it, and then next I need to fit the model with the training data. Okay, I need to train the model selection, k nearest neighbor, and the model training. Here it is, I need to fit the model with the training data. Okay, so after that we need to evaluate the model, and that will be obtained by using the testing data. Okay, so test data na use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು I can predict the accuracy, I can evaluate the model. Okay. Excuse me. To evaluate a model, I am using here accuracy underscore score. Accuracy score. You can just use the score method itself to predict the accuracy of the model. Okay, just like after fitting it, you can just use classifier dot score. You can use x underscore test, y underscore test. Okay, so this is also valid, so you can use this also. Okay, so after this model accuracy na check ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, deploy. So if I execute this, I'll be getting with these different accuracies. My support vector classifier will give you the 96% accuracy, and logistic regression will give you the 97% accuracy, and k nearest neighbor will give you the 95% accuracy, and random forest algorithm will give you 97.62 accuracy. So out of this, as it is observed, so our logistic regression will give you the most accurate results. So this algorithm can be used for final deployment. Okay, so ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು final deployment ಗೆ use ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. Okay, so if we compare the accuracy, so this is how it can be displayed through the graph. So out of this you can observe that, so this is the highest one, so that means represent the logistic regression, giving you the more accurate answers. Okay, so you can implement more than one algorithm for a problem and check out for the different accuracies which is given by the different algorithms classifiers, and you can select the best one. Okay, so after the evaluation of the model, the final step is to deploy the model. Okay, how can we deploy it? Just use predict method and a set of sample values. One hosa sample values na tagoli predict method use ಮಾಡಿ, like clf.predict, prediction equals clf.predict. within this x test space in 2-dimensional array give the sample values. Okay, so new sample values na toli, like hosa set, hosa sample, like if I want to predict the person activity who is not in the data set, whose information is not in the data set already. Okay, he is the new one. Okay, so take his phone records, phone details, like smartphone details, like what's the sensor readings, so store them and give it to the algorithm. Like here, as I said, prediction equals clf.predict. within this you can here give the values, sample values. So after running this, if you get the prediction result, it will give you the result like what this person is actually doing. Okay, I just use the same thing. Okay, ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ ಕೀ ನಿಯರೆಸ್ಟ್ ನೇಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಓಕೆ, my data set is here. Visualizing it, graph. Okay, so after this I go to use the graph. After splitting up the training and testing data, I'll use the model k nearest neighbor algorithm. Okay, so after performing this operation, I'll able to get the accuracy of the model. Okay, after the training. Okay, so just deploy it, use it like clf dot predict. Within that you need to give sample values, new sample values. Okay, for that purpose I just go to the data set. I'll just collect the sample, first sample itself is human activity data set. So I'll give the samples. Just replace it with commas. So like this you need to give the values. Okay, ಪ್ರತಿ feature value ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, and then if you execute it, if you run it, you're able to get the result like array of 0 1 2 like this. You are going to get the results. If it is of 0, he is what is this activity, what is his activity. If the value is 1, so like this you are going to predict. Okay, just a second, I'll give you the result. Okay, so once you give this values, you're able to get the result. Okay, I have used the first sample itself in the data set. ಅಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಔಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ದ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್? So this is the sample I have used. So I'm able to get the standing here. So after training evaluation, I must get the accurate results because this model is giving 95% accuracy. So I'm able to get the result like this. Okay, so standing, because this is how you can deploy the model. Fine. You can change these values for getting the different activity results. Okay, fine. So if you want to note it down, you can note it. you want to note it, you can note it down.